how much of this is about having someone in your life who models this for you, not necessarily from the pulpit, but the way my dad did that for me? Because I don't know if a preacher or a podcast would have ever convinced me to do that or modeled that for me the way my dad did in that context.
No, I think you're right. I think one of the shortcomings of digital Christian content is it lacks the humanity to really come alongside you. Mm-hmm. Even with the advancements of AI, which I'm a big fan of utilizing them as a tool, but you can have an AI model give you all the reminders in the world, but it doesn't produce the same emotional response as looking across and seeing another person with their very presence hold you accountable to your stated goals and desires.
Yeah.
So that's why I think being in a group is crucial. I tell people that small groups of churches are really weird blind dates. You don't know what you're going to get, but you got to go through a bunch in order to find someone that you're going to latch onto.
Yeah.
I don't like forced discipleship. I don't like pick randos. I also think you can just pick someone based on their maturity and say, I want to be like you, and it can work. But you do have to have people in your life. You need to have a Paul, you need to have a Barnabas, you need to have a Timothy. But again, bro, there's this great book by a rabbi and family systems therapist called Failure of Nerve. His name's Edwin Freeman. He died in the 1990s. But it's in my opinion, one of the best books on pastoral ministry and leadership. He says, we are grossly overeducated beyond our capacity to execute. And we don't need new tricks or tips. We need to just have a will and a relational centeredness to do what we know we ought to do. Jeez. And I don't think people need 19 different brand new strategies on how to be discipled. I think they just need to pick people and do life with them over a long haul. Yeah. And my deepest friendships haven't always come from the personalities I thought they would. It's through presence, pain. I could talk about, you said risk. We could dive into that because I have something to share there. But yeah, I think how do you make people want it is the real difficulty, because you can't force it. And the margins of our life have never been less, from social media taking up 8 hours of our day, extracurricular sports, commutes. The average commute in our area is about 50 minutes, 50.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, that's a convicting idea of the gap between what I know and what I do, right? And I think we live in a culture and a day where it's ridiculous. I mean, the amount of compelling interviews and books and the stimulus that there's just no way I could possibly act on the 4 million things that I'm challenging myself with and inspiring myself with. And so you're right, that to be able to put it into practice, I think that probably would be, in my mind, the number one thing that would separate you from the masses is someone who can actually do something, take the things you learn and do something about it.
I don't know if it's James Clear or Craig Rochelle, because they quote each other so much now, but they say successful people do regularly what everyone else does occasionally.
Yeah, I tell my son that all the time, but
it's so good. It's true. But I'm sitting here okay, how do I maximize my diet? What supplements can I get? Blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, I just need to make lunch in the morning and bring it so I don't eat Chick-fil-A. It's not hard. Just do it. Nike got it right all those years ago. Just do it.
Just do it. I know.
But if you stand on the pulpit and say it, you motivate people for 3-4 hours. And then if you don't restructure the habits of their life and the scaffolding of their daily rhythms, it falls.
Thanks for watching Provoke Inspire. If you enjoyed this content, could you do me a favor and hit that like button? Leave us a comment, because this ultimately is a conversation. Hit that bell thing, I think, right? And YouTube seems to be recommending another video for you to watch. Check it out. Stay involved. Also, ProvokeInspirePodcast.com for everything else. That's it. Peace.